I'm on mute. I'm on mute. My bad. Um, but yeah, no, we actually have everything setting up. Everything's ready to go. And basically, I needed to come home to get it done. I could tell you guys the story of the elusive Ursa City 12K and getting that thing working because it was kind of a drag. It was kind of hell. But it's on. Also, I can do this, and I'll do it later. But I could actually get this streaming. And what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it up so like you can see all the menu options and stuff too. So I'm gonna go to like monitor, SDIA. I'm not gonna go clean feed. I'm gonna frame guide, grid, focus color assist. No, what else do I want? Status text. But yeah, I'm gonna put everything on there, which is be dope. Yeah, my bad. I muted myself. Aloria, what's going on, boss? Yeah. So on my Shure mic, it's really easy to press the mute button, and I do that quite often. Can't stay, but I'm glad. Oh, what's up, Thomas? Yeah, no, it's that was an embarrassing stream. And now this is YouTube. This was it was an embarrassing stream last week trying to get this thing to work. Basically, you can use the 8-pin Limo cable to use it as a charger for the Ursa Cine 12K. It just means the voltage between the RE Alexa Mini LF and the Ursa Cine 12K are 10 volts off. I needed a 250 cable and it only had a 240. So, and I can hear you freaking everyone to go live today. Yeah, we usually do. I was actually in Cam's live waiting for Cam to finish, and he wasn't done yet. So I said, I'll just let him cook. We'll just let him go. I have the UC power side and the B mount play from Ursa Cine 12K. I ended up getting the I got V mounts because I have the batteries now. Like I can show you them. Like I have these guys. Let me see here. So I got this guy. This is the Helix 9. This is by Core SWS. This is their 99 watt. I have the 150 watt set up on here right now. Hopefully, I have enough battery life to last pretty much this stream. It's like 44%. I could change it whenever. Or better yet, God, let me just take out the SDI. I'm going to put this on a shark fin so then that way the battery won't burn out. Both work great. Yeah, I should just get the genuine cable from Blackmagic. I think I'm going to do that next. But like this camera particularly, I'm going to kind of only add things to it if I have a job. And job can't be actually, I guess technically it could be YouTube money because like YouTube is a job, and I will be using this for YouTube projects as well. So every little tiny time I have a little bit of money to add to this kit, I will start to build it out as I need to. There is one thing I'm missing from it though, but wait, Azra, were you going live? That's my bad. No, I didn't. So I haven't got the power adapter yet, but my V mount plate. This is really heavy. My V mount plate was at my house. I was at Talbot's house in Utah. So now that that's all figured out, I'm good to go. Hey, B West, you got a fan in here. Is this your dream camera? I don't think I have one, to be honest. I think I used to. And I think that was the Red Komodo X until I realized that other cameras existed. But I will say the Ursa Cine 12K is as far on the spectrum of like mirrorless camera to Ari Alexa. This is as far as I'm gonna go. I couldn't see another reason to use something else unless my career drastically changes, which I don't know if it will. Um, or an event where I'm like, hey, I could look at like an investment camera that can make its money back. So, but I wouldn't say dream camera. I'm gonna have a lot of friggin' fun with it though. It's gonna be super fun. A lot of the shoots I had this weekend ended up getting pushed into August, which isn't ideal. And so for the most part, you're gonna see a lot of test shoots if I'm shooting anything over the next 9 days. But every single one of my shoots that I had planned are all in August. Yeah, we got it working. Lorio, I've been awesome. I actually feel pretty good. Haven't posted a lot. I have a lighting video tomorrow. My nose is stuffed, so if any point in time I have to like stop and go and suck in wind, is because I can't breathe out of my nose. And obviously, if I'm speaking, well, there's air only coming in and out of one place. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Oh, I guess you guys do know each other. Shoot. The the Ursa, I mean, it's a really, really great camera. I think it's going to be one of my favorites, and I don't know where to go from here, truthfully. Um, I think I say that a lot about certain things, but I think this year in particular, like the cameras that I'm going to buy are going to be things that are a lot more intentional, where I'm just going to bite the bullet on the expensive thing and then just not buy something for 4 or 5 years. Because what I'll end up doing is end up buying that expensive thing later on. Like I could have got the Pixel 6K and like rode that for a bit, then get the 12K, and then I would have figured out some sort of way to get the Ursa 12K and then been like, I should have just did that to start. So I'm trying this new thing where I'm just going to get the expensive thing first. I look forward to seeing your build. I'm planning to put together a Pixis 12K when it comes out. Have fun with the big boy. I am hoping that God graces me with a couple of jobs where I can get one as well and use them as an A and B camera. And if not, Blackmagic has added 8K open gate to the S1R2, which is wild. So that might be the B camera for a little bit while I build some funds up. Thomas ironically had the thought about going live sometime soon. Might live stream and learn Unreal Engine 5. Could be funny. I want to learn for pre-production. Oh, good call. I've actually never used Unreal Engine, so I might be able to tune into that because I got a cardio. So I have you can't see it, but I have a treadmill in the office now, which is going to be super nice, especially when I want to get two things done at once. And I'm going to try to put an end to big back season and do more cardio. Yeah, the same batteries are rock solid. Okay, perfect. That's good to know because I haven't used Core SWS batteries before, so it's kind of new. Then again, I've used pretty crap batteries for a long time, so. I have the Core SWX Helix Max 275 watt, and they're awesome. Also, I've got the Ursa Cine 15 mil base plate with a dovetail, and it's great. Recommend for sure. Also, wooden camera top plate is a must-have add-on. Timbuktu, I'm working with a company to potentially create another kit for the Ursa Cine 12K, which deters me from buying the thing for it because when you help design things for a company, you might get a unit. But yeah, no, I support that. I think the wooden camera makes great stuff. I do want to get that 15 millimeter base plate, and I looked at the price tag for it, and I'm like, that'll sting for a bit. I'm going to get at least 3 jobs in before I start looking at getting things like base plates and stuff. Timbuktu, yeah, wooden camera for the win. I have the Elite wooden camera accessory kit for the C400. I was just looking at the Elite kit, and it looks pretty solid. Looks really nice. So what are your biggest reasons for buying the Ursa Cine 12K opposed to the Pixis 12K? For me, it seems like internal ND would be the biggest reason. Yeah, that's one of them. Also, I talk fast. I'm sorry. Built-in NDs, full-size XLR. You can use mini XLR on the Pixis. I just like having 2 of them, and the placement of that mini XLR is the front, which is a strange place to put it for a camera. And I like that I could run this with no accessories. Like I could put just oh shoot, we got the D-bots again, whatever. I could put just the handle on this guy with a couple rods and a battery and be totally fine. Oh god, the bots are back. So yeah, if you guys look at yes, I guess you can't see dislikes. They'll go on like a timer for 30 seconds and they'll just keep going, or maybe a bunch of people do dislike this video, but it'll not make sense because more people will dislike it than are actually here. It'll go on for like 20 minutes. And then 2 hours later after the stream, they'll all go away. Hey, 6MP, yeah, finally, first I call you. I've been doing a lot of live streaming, so that's interesting. But no, congratulations. We have fun here. Maybe too much fun. What's your thoughts on V-mount versus gold mount? Me and this DP were debating about it jokingly, but still debating. He said I was unprofessional and set with a V-mount when everyone uses gold mount M. Like, gold mounts are very secure. I'll give you that. Gold mounts are incredibly secure. Gold mounts are just harder to find, and it's hard to convert everything to gold mount, so that's why. It's a more secure battery. The batteries are going to be the same. Your watt hours are going to be the same. It's not professional if you don't do X. I'm like, cool, buy my gold mounts then. If it's not professional, you pay for it. I'm going to do the best with it I can, all right? You only got one life. Ursa Cine has more features than the Pixis overall. The front lima ports and lens motors are incredible. Powering, yeah, there's also a lot more power things. There's even like a secret little friggin', like if you flip this over, I'm going to take this out. I gotta get a 15 millimeter rod to a NATO one here so I can put a shock mount on it. But it even has like these little hidden USB ports. So if you run a focus motor and you power it via USB-C, you can just do that at the front, and I can still use the Pixis monitor on here, which is really dope. And that way, you can still organize the accessories. And I think once you use a top plate, you'll be able to use things like Mondo ties and actually tie all the cables together and have it nice and organized. But yeah, you could run a lot of power to it. It also sucks out a lot of power, though, to be fair. So you might need bigger, higher wattage batteries to be able to accommodate for it. But congrats on the 12K. What glass are you looking forward to pairing with it? Is it the anamorphic kit in the plans? So right now, actually, they're both in front of me. Oh God, what'd I do? I accidentally pressed the wrong thing. My bad. Um, so right now I got these guys. My old faithful Blazar Remus lenses. I bought these last year near the end of the year, and they've been great. I accidentally broke my 45 mil. The filter thread is broken, so I might even have to buy a new one. But because it has built-in NDs in it, I don't necessarily have to worry about front filters. And then after that Nisi video, I didn't think they'd let me keep any of these guys, but they did give me the 35 and the 18 mil. So I'm going to run these as my sphericals, and I'm going to run the Blazar Remus lenses as my anamorphics. 1.8 ND heavy IR pollution. I keep noticing mine all the time now. Thomas, Garner, hey, I got a solution for you. So I heard about that. I've heard about these things, which is IR pollution. Oh, it's at 1.8. So what I think I'm going to do is I could run a 1.2 IRND. This is a Condor Blue Firecrest collab. And then I could bring my internal all the way down to like 0.6, which doesn't have as much IR pollution, and then throw an IR cut onto there, and I could match that up. So these guys, they only have 1.6, 1.2, and I think I have a 0.9, but that also fills in some of the gaps that you would have on the built-in NDs because it only has like, 0.6, 1.2, and then 0.18 or 1.8. What software am I using for streaming? I'm using Ecamm, my boy. I get that, but as a solo filmmaker, it seems like the 12K would be a go-to. If you have a team, Ursa Cine 12K or 17K, man, you can make anything out of anything. I've seen people on teams with FX3s, and I've seen solo shooters on FX9s. I literally, I think I got it on my phone, but I saw a dude get like shooting a full commercial outside of a 7-Eleven on an FX9 with an SP3 by himself. So it depends on what your preference is, and can you make that preference work, I think, at this point. Um, yeah, also, just so you guys know, like, this is not for narrative filmmaking because I've come to the realization that the only reason why I cared about like long form narrative is because other filmmakers told me to, but I just like making hood rat shit with my hood rat friends and working with athletes that are famous. So, or just athletes at all, because it's kind of where I used to be. So if you're expecting like these super long, thought provoking narrative films with me, the Ursa Cine 12K, you're probably not going to see it. And if that makes you mad, then there's nothing I can do for you. Hey, what up, Kyle? I actually got to use Kyle's Sony R1. What was it? The RX1R, RX1R Mark III. I used it for about 2 minutes and then realized that it's way too small for my hands, and I gave it back to him. Yeah, I work with teams a lot. Hey, you know what? It's kind of the way to go. Like, if you could find like not even a big team, like if you have like 4 of your friends and you guys are all kind of in the same mix and you guys like making stuff, that can go a very, 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 very long way. Just having a couple friends and a couple buddies, and like not everybody like has to be officially a gaffer or something like that. Like you all could kind of have different roles and skill sets. Teams are great. Have you ever used the Helios 44-2? R2 I have. I had an iron glass set, and then for my BTS shooter, Rich, who shoots a lot for the channel, I gave him my entire iron glass set for Christmas. So I have used it, but he has it. So Michael Andrews, having a team on set is the best. Man, it changes your damn life because a lot of the stress is gone. I almost have the parts on my PC rig, should be able to expand work opportunities when it's done. Alorio, that's also a great opportunity to start taking on some distance and domestic editing work too. How did Blackmagic add 8K to the S1R2? Because the S1R2 already shoots in 8.1K, so they just gave the ability for it to be able to write Blackmagic in that resolution to an external monitor. So usually when you're dealing with, and because you're using OpenGate, you're using the full sensor, there isn't going to be any differences. The reason why it's different on like the Sony cameras is because you're not using the full sensor on it. So if you're using like the FX3, your resolution is like slightly bigger if you're using a Atomos Ninja 5 and the ProRes RAW. Technically, I think it might be the same whenever they decide to add Blackmagic RAW to the Sony FX line, which God knows when. Um, but yeah, because you're using the full sensor and that full resolution, it's just not going to change between the Lumix and the Blackmagic, which is specifically a Lumix thing. And I would assume only if you gave Blackmagic RAW to like what the XH2S, it'd probably be the same thing. Hey, I'm actually probably gonna do that, man. I got to do a lighting video when they're like pretty easy. Like I just scribble and record myself scribbling, and then I'm doing a little intro because we are gonna give an homage to a DP that shaped a lot of the fitness work that I did, and I stole his whole flow bar for bar and used it for like 4 years and won with it. But if you guys want a hint, you should watch the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, the remake on Peacock. Yeah, man, so tell Uncle Kofi it's expensive but worth it. And Uncle Kofi does not know about these things, okay? So do not tell my uncle that I've purchased something I may not should have done, but you only live once, so. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be kind of like the new workhorse camera. I think gaslighting myself that I don't need built-in NDs, and I don't need XLRs, and I haven't had them for like 2 years. Maybe it's not a smart idea, and maybe I should stop doing that. Now, I don't mind not having autofocus, that's for sure, because I use cinema lenses, but yeah. Who the hell sends bots though? Michael, you must be new here. This has happened a few times where, and it's weird because I'll say it and then it'll stop after a couple minutes, but like it's gotten up to like 60 dislikes in 3 minutes and there wasn't even 60 people on stream. And then when I'll check my analytics after the stream, they'll just disappear or it'll even be like negatives. Like when it got really bad, I checked like 2 days later and it'd be like, hey, you have -7 dislikes. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. So it does happen. So. Between the FX3 and the Ursa Cine 12K, is the color grading data massively different in post? Yeah. I they're different to grade, that's for sure. And you could like light and lens yourself to look really good on the FX3, but yeah, there's way more information in a 8K downsampled from 12 raw file versus a 10-bit Sony FX3 file in All Intra. Like there's way more information. How you been, Uncle Kofi? That's actually a pretty good way of spelling it. That's hilarious. I'm very good. Looks like I saw Athena's. No, these aren't Athena's. These are the Nisi Aureus lenses. I did a video on them, and I don't think they're gonna get as much traction as I think they are right now. I think it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna catch on in a little bit. Because even the Digital Arls are like that. Like they didn't really catch a lot of traction until other people started using them and they circulated for a bit. But those are like I made the reference where like if lenses were Digimon, this would be the Angemon to the Patamon of Athena's. So actually press the wrong thing consistently. You're all good. I really hope you're not referring to people because that would suck. Or be great, who knows. To take advantage of the AC page and the lens data, my plan is to add eye technology lenses this year. I love the Cine 12K reads the data displays. Oh, so Tim, you sound like you're trying to get them Cook S4s. You look like you're trying to be using some Cook S4s, and I'm trying to see what that looks like because right now I'm watching Yellow Jackets, and that's shot on the Cook S4s, and those look really, really dope, especially for like the forest scenes and stuff. Why did you choose the 18 and 35 of the Nisis? Because I can only pick 2 at the moment. I'm going to try to finesse my way to the rest of the set, but I like those 2 focal lengths quite a bit. Like 35 is like a perfect full frame kind of catch-all lens. Like if I only had one prime, like 35 usually is what I would sit at. And then 18 is very reminiscent of like what I'm using here. And I like having I like wide focal lengths, like Cam likes anamorphic lenses a lot. So 18 made the most amount of sense because it was the widest one that they have. And I'm hoping they come up with a 14, but who knows? Just skipped my question. Philippe, I didn't even see your question. You just ask the question again. It's totally fine. Secret lens suggestion times Zeiss Rolelli HFT 35 millimeter, exactly the same glasses as Super Speeds, but for 1K and got triangle bokeh. Thomas, you know what I need you to do? I don't know if I have you on YouTube, but like I need you to just make a channel of all the secret film things that you find So then I spend money. Hey, need love to do your thing, brother. Much love. Hey, respects, bro. On the DMD forums, requested a 7-inch Pixis monitor, also wireless Pixis monitors with a new wireless video setup. Hope Black Magic makes that happen. Knowing Black Magic, if you ask them a question and it halfway makes sense, they'll build it in like 6 months. They'll ship it in 2 years, but they'll build it in 6 months. How often do you bring viewers to help on projects, if ever? Actually, there's quite a few people that have been on in the comments and like people that have been subscribers that have helped on set. I know Brendan, and Brendan's last name I forget how to pronounce all the time. But yeah, he's been a subscriber of the channel. I've met him last year at Profusion, and he helped me out with a bunch of like 4 or 5 days. He's helped me out for like a week. But right now he's on a road trip, so that's that. And then um, Rich I've known since like the channel had like 1,500 subs, and he's been there for pretty much the entire time. Actually, no, since I bought the FX30, and he's been there too. What part of your job do you feel most burnt out on? I don't like when I come back from traveling and then I realize that I have to almost reset everything with trying to get like client works or even trying to get self-driven projects off the ground. Because what ends up happening, and also I'm gonna open a door. I hope this is okay. I'm gonna open a door. There's no airflow in here, and I could tell windows closed, doors closed, AC's on. Oh, AC's off in here. Is it okay if I leave the door open? Okay, you're not home. That's fine. But yeah, love traveling. Love travel jobs. I think what ends up happening though is that like I've been doing it for like I've traveled for almost 10 days a month every month since November 2024. A lot of your work home out the window. So then when you're ready to take on client stuff like things that are more local, everyone's called somebody else. So that's burnt out because then you have to kind of like almost like reestablish yourself, or you start shooting spec stuff because like the channel is kind of at a place where like I can make a little bit from shooting specs. So you're literally getting paid to shoot whatever you want, but you usually do that in groups and teams, and then pulling groups and teams together when like not everybody has Monday through Thursday off to be able to do stuff. Trying to figure that out back and forth is very what's it called? Is very exhausting. It sucks when you have two stuffed nostrils and no airflow in your room. I'm here for your streams, bro. Definitely not new. Oh, respect. I was joking. That's a joke. That was a joke. But yeah, no, that the dislike bots do come up, and it's super super weird, and they'll just disappear after a little while. You had me at make shit with your friends. Yeah, man. This might be its own video. Maybe it'll be a live stream. But I do think that I've paid too much attention to other filmmakers in the space, and then had tried to tell myself that I was going to act like be a certain way on the internet that I don't care to be. Because I truthfully wanted to get paid doing hood rat film shit with my hood rat film friends. That's it. Like going to Utah and just screwing around, but I have to make a video for just Angel Bird or something. That's what I would want to do, and I want to do that in a higher production way than what I'm used to, and that's why I still like a lot of the stuff. So yeah, do hood rat shit with your hood rat friends, man. You might get paid for it. Oh, no problem, man. Did you? Hey, some people know. Some people know. Some people know. Hey, Mighty Miggy, what up? Yeah, no, I've been gone for a bit, so it's all good. You didn't miss much. Yeah, a wireless Pixis monitor or even like a wireless receiver. I know Cam just put it up in his video, but I'm also getting that Axion wireless monitor. Even if I got like, I don't know how the hell they're gonna figure it out, but if you had like a little like multifunctional transmitter that could work with different brands that you could put to different monitors, solid. Oh, Cook S4 is only Super 35 coverage. I'm looking at the Vespa 2. Oh yeah, the Vespa 2s have the eye technology. Otherwise, Cook S7s. Yep, you're right. S8s are VistaVision. Yeah, so it is the S8. Sorry, not the S4s. I'm thinking S. No, actually, no, it's the Alexa Mini and the S4s for Yellow Jackets. But Tim, it sounds like you got some money if you're trying to get some Cook S8s, or you stealing. I don't snitch. Could you translate your anime reference into Attack on Titan terms for? So I'm trying to remember how many. I'm trying to remember if Aaron changed forms after consuming all the other Titans, but he's the what was it? This the attack Titan would be the Nisi Athenas, and then the founding Titan would be the Nisi Oriuses. There you go. That makes sense. It was funny to say you're constantly hitting them, but not people. Yeah, Mac, don't hit people. That'd be weird and illegal. Um, do the best of both worlds. Wide anamorphic lenses. Hey. I'm actually looking at this. If you guys know any good like 1.5 wider anamorphics, I know the 33. I'm just gonna buy the 33. I've borrowed Brendan's so many times. Um, but I'm looking for like one good like wide anamorphic. Hang on a second. Michael Andrews. Man, I agree with you. Super 35 millimeter is definitely the best for me, especially with anamorphic. Mainly, you get through. Yeah, yep. It's the worst part is though, Michael. Though, if you get a 35 millimeter anamorphic lens and it's your only anamorphic lens, you're screwed. But if you have like a 35 and like an 85, you're golden. You have to like 35 is the best anamorphic focal length, but you can't just have that one because then your coverage sucks or like your coverage gets into a problem. What's the best way to get in contact to you if we wanted to help while learning with your team? Autofocused, generally speaking, would be like Instagram. Truth to tell, though, I'm trying to be online less. So like email, but also I wish I had like a calendar. You know what? I'm gonna try this. Um, and I'm supposed to do it. So basically, I don't know if you guys know this, but I launched channel memberships, and I'm gonna probably change a little bit of how they work in a little bit. I think what I'm gonna do somewhere down the line is I'm going to have like a Discord, and when something pops up, then I'll be able to have like an open call for it. And mostly, and the reason why the Discord is going to exist is mostly to like creators have this thing sometimes where like there's almost too much access to yourself, so you always feel like you have to answer everything as it happens all the time, which is great and it's a service to the audience and it's awesome until it becomes so overwhelming that you haven't done any work outside of answering DMs and stuff. So that's kind of the tough part I'm trying to balance, and making a Discord for channel members is probably the only way I could think of doing that. Hey, Mac with the super chat. Have a coffee, Kofi. I I will probably have a coffee because I'll need some caffeine to also work out today. No, even the passive aggressive people. Sometimes Ecamm displays. Oh yeah, that was the person that said I skipped the question. In the wrong order. It's not Kofi skipping, and sometimes there are technical issues. Just ask. Yeah, just if you guys have questions and I don't answer it, just ask again. Don't be that guy that spammed like 15 times when the Pixis 12K video is coming out, because then you'll not exist on the channel, and I won't even say anything about it. But yeah, that's it. Kobe, what's the crop factor of the 1735 megapixel sensor compared to full frame 12K? It's 0.7 or something like that. How does rolling shutter feel 17K since the sensor is so big? I don't know. I've not used the 17K before. However, my 12K will it goes to Super 35 at 9K, and the rolling shutter is eerily close to the FX3 while being while having a lot more resolution. Treat the 17K like it's 5 perfect film, and yeah, like 8 perf. That's one way of looking at it. I've never used a 65 millimeter, so I'm really I'm interested to try it. I will never buy one, but I my goal for this camera is I have my first impressions video, I have a battery life video, and I have a memory card video going up next week. All three of those will go up next week. After that, I'm gonna try to shut up about this camera until I've shot a bunch with it, and I'll only maybe have another video every 5 shoots. That's what we'll do. Every 5 shoots, I'll have a new video for the Ursa Cine 12K. Yeah, Hood Rat Gang, respects. Mac, thank you. I've been trying to get Kofi on good coffee for months. Hey, I got a what? Are they called espressos? I don't know what they're called. I got the one that makes a coffee in the house, and I put the little cup in, and it makes coffee. Oh, I sell my own body parts for money. Oh shit. Got good money for my kidneys. Hey, you know what? I heard like one of those is like a quarter million. So you actually could make it like if you sold one kidney, yeah, you could probably get yourself a decent kit. Hey man, how's the 12K so far? Low-key thinking about moving in Black Magic hands for my narrative work. See, this is someone, if you want to see narrative, you just go to Michael Taylor's channel. If you want to see hood rat shit and people playing sports and stuff, that's mine. Um the Ursa Cine 12K is going to be, I think, personally, outside of the Pixis 12K, because they both will look exactly the same, is going to be my favorite image. I think it is, and it's going to be my favorite camera to work. It's going to be one of my favorite cameras to work with. I do like the S12 quite a bit. I shot a lot of ARRI log while we were in Utah, and it looks great. I don't know if it's because I'm using ARRI log. I don't know if because we were just in the mountains and the Tetons, and that was great too. And I don't know if it was just I was using a 24 to 60, like I wasn't using anything special. It looks phenomenal. But yeah, it's almost oh, okay. Yeah, so Thomas, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're talking about a lot of lenses I've never used or lenses that I don't got money for. No, not at all. Was any part of you that considered with the 17K over the 12K? No. I only will consider getting the Ursa Cine 17K to put into a rental shop at a full kit and rent it out at $2,000 a day, or I think it rents out at like 1,500 or 2,000 a day. Because you'd be able to pay yourself off in like 6 months, and then you just be in the green making a passive 2 grand every couple months. That would be the only conceivable way that I would put up that kind of money. Don't shoot anything less than a T800, brother. Keeping it Skynet. Don't kill me. Joking aside, I can't afford to buy Cook. If the budget is there, then I rent them. But I own Vespid and will probably upgrade to Vespid 2 because I could afford. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna be there. Um, I'm gonna try out the Vespid 2s eventually. I don't really know when I'll ever get them hands on them, but I don't know. I want to try them. I do have this tie. What is it? The thigh pox? Are they called thigh pox or tie pox? Whatever those are. Whatever the POC lens are. The POC. I'm gonna call them the POCs. That's gonna be sick. I'm gonna try those out in the next couple of weeks, but that's gonna be on hopefully the S1 R2 with the new AK upgrade, or knock on wood, you get a Pixis, whatever the Pixis 12K in time, and you do it on there. Can we start a send Kofi to Australia fund? Jason, the way that this travel is set up, it's gonna be a 2026 kind of affair, man. Like, and you guys have winter in January or summer in January, so that's probably better. But like, we're talking early 2026. I want to go, but like, I want to stay home for a couple months, and that doesn't help because like I help shoot a film in Ohio in like a week. And then there's like, there's the event that the camera company holds where there's a bunch of people there. That's the following month. And then October happens. Yeah, then it's October. And the year's almost over. So I want to be able to enjoy being at home for sometimes. There we go. I'm gonna spam. Mario, don't do that. You just started a YouTube channel and it could be ended. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was rude. I'm sorry. Proceeds to drink 3 cups of Tim Hortons coffee before the workout session. That would kill me. That would kill me. That would kill me. Time to spam chat. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Tell Black Magic he needs that 32K. Got to have this. Man, the 17. You know what the craziest part is that for somehow, some way, they're gonna make an Ursa Mini 17K. You heard it first. It's gonna happen eventually. Um, and because of the sensor type, they have to make it 17K. I'm sure if they could make the RGB WW sensor work in a 6K format, they would have done it. But it's super dope that it could shoot in 12K. I think, and I have to kind of finagle this a little bit, but once we get into the Ursa 12K, I can actually shoot some footage at 12K. We can play it on DaVinci Resolve, and we'll see if it plays back. If Blackmagic made a 15 perth IMAX sensor size camera, then it would be 24K resolution based on, yeah, and that's too many Ks. Just don't that Frappuccino Mocha Al Pacino stuff. Don't kill me. Yeah, got a new short film dropping later in August as well. Hey, let's go. My the short film I was supposed to film that we had some budget for is in tariff limbo right now, and it's really sad because we want to shoot it before the racetracks close, and we can't. We're just waiting. Ohio, come to Cali, baby. I'm in California like every other month. California's tired of seeing me. Okay, and the way that you guys been wilding out in Los Angeles, I'm gonna stay away from there for a while. Eat some spam. Ew, ew, ew. Spam is disgusting. Spam is the nastiest substance on the planet. Don't ever bring those tins to my presence. Um, what's it called? Hang on a second. Eyelash in my eye. Do guys like you and Matteo Bertoli, who are basically ambassadors for their brand, get nice discounts on their cameras? They leave you hanging. Um, am I a Black Magic ambassador? Since when? I do way more paid stuff for Sony than I do Black Magic. I did get the Pixis, and not I didn't have to pay for that. And I got a little bit off of the Ursa Cine. The accessories I bought on my own though. So yeah, you get a little bit of a deal. That's not from a me asking for 6 months. So they don't leave you hanging, but they don't definitely just don't hand you the farm and stuff. But that's the first time I've been called a Black Magic ambassador, to be honest with you. There's far more Sony FX line content on this channel than any other camera. Actually, almost every other camera combined. Kovi, are you planning to acquire the Ursa Cine 12K? And if that's the case, why that over the Pixel 12K? Because the higher frame rates will shutter built-in IDs. I mean, I don't. It's not planning. It's right here. It's mine. This is mine. This is mine. There's nobody else's. It's mine, and I paid for it. And I'm gonna cry a little bit for about a month and a half, but I paid for it. So I did get that one versus the Pixis 12K. I'm gonna be so real with you. It's not off the table that I'll have the Pixis 12K as a B camera and a travel camera because I can't take that everywhere. So it's not necessarily an either or. And I know that sounds like so much money. It very much does, and I'm fully aware of that. But when you combine the price of the Pixis 12K, the Ursa Cine 12K, the body only, it's a little more expensive than when I had purchased the Red Komodo X, and that was like a sting for a couple months, and then it was okay. Also, I got rid of so much excess camera gear that I didn't care about or like or didn't use. So that'll help cushion the blow a little bit. So too many Ks is crazy. Hey. Too many Ks is more than nah, you know what? I'm not making the joke I'm gonna make. Never mind. We do not need all the Ks. No, we don't. No, we do not. There's a limit of how many Ks that'll be allowed in my house. It's just me. Oof, dang, bro, hope it gets out of limbo. Yeah, it sucks. Tariffs are weird. And the way that tariff affects brands that also affect how your projects get produced also sucks. So yeah, crop fracture is real. Man, even at 12K to 100 megapixels, I don't know. I've never needed to shoot in 12K. This thing's gonna stay on 8K the entire time. Maybe even 4. For like client stuff, I'm not sending them 8K down sample. I'm just gonna send them 4K, like 15:1. Call it a night. I'm not disturbing myself. No, Mario, stop this. I think you went about it the right way. You used it in an actual shoot, and that was your use case study versus feeling like you're selling something to an audience. I love when you advise someone not to buy it. Yeah, because I don't think you should buy this. Every single, and this is for the most, when you're watching YouTube channels and stuff like that, most people don't care what you buy. And that might sound hyperbolic a little bit, but when you realize that the affiliate marketing percentages are so low that it's almost like not that important if you do or not, most people's like first instinct is like, I found this thing that's exciting. I want to talk about it and I want to talk about it at length. And then the second part is like, I want to find other people that like it as well. And the third part is like, I want to make a cool video because we all got into this to make cool videos. That's kind of the primary thing for it. So yeah, no, with this camera, like it's not going to be for most people. Hell, I kind of almost don't need it. No, not even kind of. I don't need it, but I want to shoot cool shit and I used it and I liked it and I had the means to afford it and now it's here. And you have one. Do you have one? Oh, you have an Ursa Cine 12K too? I think I'm excited to see how the adoption of this camera goes in the next little bit. Hey Shill, how much does Sony pay you to not try the RX1R? You know how Sony Canada gets down. I don't get nothing. The only time I get embargo things is from the US. Sony of Canada doesn't have embargoes for anything. It doesn't exist. And I get them on loaners 2 months after all the hype is down. So also it's small. It's a very small camera. I tried Kyle's. If you see me make a video on it, it's me saying camera looks great, camera's awesome, way too small, and I probably wouldn't use it. All right, you got a point. Almost almost got deported at just shopping at Home Depot. Damn. Mac, is it because your last name's Chowdhury, which I'm assuming is Indian? I only know Indian people named Chowdhury with the last name Chowdhury, but also might be spelled differently. That's wild. Come to San Diego. It's much chiller than LA. I've heard that a lot, and I've never been to San Diego. I might try that next time because I'm usually in like the West Hollywood or Ontario area. Oh, he's from Vermont. I just mean you're giving them a lot of marketing. I didn't. Oh no. Hey, autofocus. Hey, autofocus. Autofocus. Hey, we cool here. We cool here. I ain't trying to attack you. That was just the first time I've ever heard it. I do actually have. Yeah, I guess there is a lot of black magic stuff on my channel. Let me check. I really never thought of it. You know what? Maybe. You know what it is? I think the black magic videos that I've done, however, not a lot of them there are, all have really decent views. If I'm a black magic ambassador, I hope black magic gives me some money, bro. But also, yeah, no, they actually do support some of the projects we do. So that's a fair assessment. But also just the first time I've heard it, to be honest. NorCal is good too. California is gigantic, and I didn't. There's parts of these. You guys are saying things that I don't know what that is. I don't know what NorCal is. I know it means North California. I'm joking. It is a lot of money to get the cameras, but they're told not toys. They pay selves off. Yeah, wait, Mickey, I maybe lost 5 brain cells because I don't know if I read that right. I know what you meant though. But yeah, no, they're not toys. Go make some money. And when you make some money, do whatever you want with it. And if that means you want to buy another camera, go for it. Yeah, I agree with the K's, Kofi. Yeah, we don't need any more K's. We have a perfectly sufficient enough K's. I don't want you guys thinking about any more K's than there already exists. I shot 500 gigabytes of 4K 16 by 9 of this Cine 12K yesterday. That's 4K B-RAW 6:1 ratio. Took hours to upload to my client's Dropbox. I got to figure out another way, but I think what I'm going to do is a company called Strata, and I'm starting to learn a little bit more about them. And I think you could actually directly upload footage from the USB, it's not the USB, the Ethernet port. Like I could plug it into Ethernet, plug it into my computer, and then just let the files jump on from there. So that way it doesn't take hours to do it. Because if I could figure out a way how to get that done in real time, because you can't shoot to SSDs on this, which kind of sucks. But CF Express cards are great. 12K would be days of uploading. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not delivering 12K to a client unless they paid for it. I love NorCal. Lived there for 16 years before San Diego. Okay, so North California sounds like a vibe. Watch someone out there shooting in 12K raw, uploading to YouTube. There will be. Don't put it past people. There will be. Big H. Hey, respects, bro. I gotta wake up at 5 for a shoot, but fuck it. I woke up at 5 just to take a shot of the cityscape of Toronto this morning. I don't know what randomly woke up and thought that was a good idea. One thing I'm gonna do on the Ursa, because I can't control shoots getting moved around, is the idea is, and I want you guys to try this on your cameras, is everyone try to get 1 shot per day for 30 seconds. That's it. And it has to be something different. It doesn't need sound. You could have sound, it's optional, but just get like 1 shot per day. And you have to stick to 1 shot per day. And at the end of the year, and then color grade it and export it. And at the end of the year, you could see 365 shots. And then you could look at stuff. I don't know. I think it's a cool idea, especially with a camera that is like this, where it looks really nice. I want to try to get like a shot a day. All right, so you guys really like California. I'm still not living there. I learned early on that I can't keep up with all the camera stuff, so I stopped focusing on the craft more. I'm a lens head though. Yeah, Devontae, you like realistically, when you're watching this stuff, it's just educational entertainment. For the most part, none of us are really like, you guys have to buy every camera as it exists. We don't even buy every camera as it comes out. Most of this stuff is like loaned to us and we have to give it back eventually. But we like entertaining, and it's a topic that everybody likes to chime in on, so it's a fun thing to do. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just edutainment more else than anything. Shooting 12K and cropping into Super 16, you end up with a 4.3K resolution, which is incredible. I scaled in that far. I was so impressed with the detail. I think it was CVP that did one of those, and they like cropped in on like a small railing in a cityscape, and it still looked like half decent, which is wild. I don't know if I've never been in a situation where I need that, but it still sounds really dope. Mac Pakistani, but I was born and raised in London, England. That sounds very spot on for people that are born in not the Western world. A lot of people in like Africa or Asia, they'll go to school in London and then come back. And I always wonder like how much that costs, because it if I went to school in the States, I would still be paying off that student loan today, because it would cost me like 50 grand a year to be able to do that. The amount of people that I know from like Nigeria, Ghana, India, Sri Lanka and stuff that go to school in the UK and then just chill there for, I mean, not just chill there, but they go to school, like fully go to school there and can afford it is wild to me. Hey, Matt, what up? You still got to call me. We still got to talk. We still got to talk business. So you run me a text whenever, and I'll, what's it called? Maybe in like 45, I'll hop off stream. Tell Kofi he needs a new computer then because we handle all the Ks. Hey. So we're going to record some footage in the stream, and I'm going to show you. Not necessary. It still works. It works pretty decent. Just got a 9mm ultra wide lens in the mail, not in fisheye. Dude, you see everything. You got them Laowa lenses, because Laowa does them wide angles real nice. I shot my film in 12K raw on the Ursa Mini, 13 terabyte of footage to store one hour film. Yeah, I have to buy a new NAS drive, not a new computer, but I need new hard drives for sure. Late for a conference call. Mac, yeah, go back to work. But no, thank you for the super chat, my boy. I have the Ursa Mini Pro 12K. Any reason you'd recommend upgrading to the Cine? I'm going to do it at some point. I probably don't need it. If you want a full frame sensor and faster readout speeds and some of the other tech that's in it, I'd say by all means go for it. But if, like you said, you don't need it, I would just rock the Ursa Mini. It looks great. Black Mansion has a 16 terabyte module media pre-order for sweet. That should hold a good amount of footage in 12K resolution. Tim, you're correct. I just need to back that up to something, and I don't know what I'm going to back up. I mean, I guess you would just back up 16 terabytes to a RAID, but like you only got what? 6? You'd be able to fill that up 6 times in a year, which, to be fair, if you have to fill it more than 16 times or 6 times, that's wild. But yeah, that's wild for only 16 terabytes. No, it's not. Jason, like, let's do the math here. Let's do some math here. If you Googled who's a good disruptor in the memory card market, let me just go on Google for a sec. Let me Google. I have to go to Google. Google Angelbird 2 terabyte CF Express B. It is 604. Actually, hang on a second. Let me make sure. I own it. Oh, on an OWC Thunderbird 24 terabyte, which means you could only fill about three of them those 8 terabyte modules on there. It's $549 to what's it called? $549. Yeah, $549 for 2 terabyte. So, and $3,000 for a 16 terabyte. So I need 8 cards to get the same 16 terabytes. You're talking what? 8 times 5 is 40, plus another 50 times 8. You're talking about $400 to have the 8 cards on their own, or you spend $3,000 to get the module that's built into the camera and has the speeds to take every single frame rate and compression. Those are pretty decent odds. Strat is great. Tried it out once the platform matures. It'll be no brainer. Yeah, I've heard about that. I heard about that. I actually got to meet Mike Sioni at Cine Gear, but yeah, that's too crazy for a module. Jason, if you can find me a better option for less money, we're willing to hear it. But I don't think it exists, bro. That has the speeds to write every single shooting mode on the Ursa Cine 12K. $3,000 for 16 terabytes. In my opinion, it's not that bad. Govi also started YouTube years ago, almost 14K subs ago. So almost 14K subs, but I've been lazy with YouTube and spent too much time on Instagram with the YNs. Yeah, just drop it. I deleted Threads off my phone, but I had realized I think yesterday that my Threads account still exists. So when I post things on Instagram, it still goes to Threads. So if anyone's on Threads and you see me posting stuff, understand that it's doing it automatically, and I have no idea that it's doing it. And I'm probably not going to answer because I don't have that app on my phone anymore. Yep. NMM. That's why you wrote that. You want to make me say that. Is entirely right. Ask if you have a job, ask if you have a job coming up, or you just want it for fun. If you just want it for fun, you got to make sure you got some money in the bank to have some fun. So, as your immediate respects, man, what's going on? Apparently, going live is a thing to do. Sweet. Kofi sells more black magic than black magic does. I wish they did pull a Res Internal. Jeremy, I'm only realizing today that I'm a black magic ambassador. Um, I learned that today, so which is hilarious. Which I still have my little Sony. I still have my little A7C2. I just don't. I don't use it. Truthfully, I don't use it anymore. I don't really use it that much. And I think it's because I just messing around with the Lumix cameras for a little bit, and then when I have work, I bring out a bigger camera. And I think the A7C2 was the channel camera, and that's now an S12E instead. So, no, oh, sorry, that's not too crazy. My bad, Jason. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. I read that wrong, and thusly had a response that was unfavorable. So that's my bad. Worked for a 3D production company years ago that had over a petabyte of storage. You need it, especially if you're going to be doing VFX on 12K. Hey, we got a super chat. I will, you know what? I will treat myself to vegetables and healthy snacks because we're going to do our cardio today because big back season's going to be over soon. Hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, big companies used to store and stuff. I wish the transfers were faster. I wish they were faster. That was it. That's all. But you pay the cost to be the boss. I'm building a Windows PC, but if I get good money from it, what Mac would you say is done well for filmmaking? I've had the MacBook M1 Max chip for 2 years now, and it's been able to read red footage. It's been able to do great with the Ursa Cine 12K. It's been really good. Hey, Michael, take care of yourself, man. Jason, no, that's my bad. I will wear that on the chest. I read that wrong and I got sarcastic, and that was not nice. So, what do you think of the Pixis 12K? Is it worth it waiting instead of getting the good old 6K version? It depends how much money you've saved. If you have if you have money saved for all the accessories, you're gonna pay about 2K more. I think you're gonna pay about 2,000 more. So, in terms of, here's the thing. I'm gonna try to explain this as best I can because I have this problem a lot too. I will buy a camera that is cheaper because in my mind I'm spending less money, to only not a year later be like, this is the camera that I actually wanted to get and I should have just saved my money for that, but instead I did this thing in the middle to where I actually spend more money because then I have to sell that camera to buy the new one. If the Pixis 12K is in your mind and you can just you're good where you are and you could save the money, I would just save the money. Because what you might end up doing is you might buy the 6K, find out its shortcomings, realize those shortcomings can be solved in a 12K, and then kick yourself, try to sell your 6K, and doing that on Marketplace is a hassle. And then buy the 12K and realize that you spend a bunch of money for no reason. Do you think the 17K will become popular? I think it will be. I live in Toronto. There's a lot of rental shops in my area. There's 9 in the city, and a lot of them have Pixis 12Ks that they've added into their inventory, so I could see that being a bit more popular. Sad the Pixis 12K got delayed a month, though. Is it delayed? Is it officially delayed? I heard it was the 27th of July. I'm not surprised if it doesn't come out till mid-September. Dude, I almost switched. I wish I ran with ProRes as well. Raw is such a huge work for lower budget filming. Yeah, I could agree with that. I kind of wish they had I guess if you have the Blackmagic View Assist, you could write ProRes to it, I think. I'm not too sure. I have two terabyte CF Express cards for 600 each, and they work with the yeah. So I actually have. I guess we should talk about the Ursa Cine 12K now. It probably makes more sense. So I always forget how to open this thing. So one, the CF Express module is still. It looks like the 8 terabyte module. The only difference. Hang on a second. I can show you the cards that I have on this guy. So we pop this up. Like when you look at it, still using the 1 terabyte cards by Angelbird. I want to see if this focuses in, but I probably won't because my face is there. There we go. 1 terabyte. It's the 1785 megabytes a second. If you get the 4.0s or the ones that do 3800 megabytes per second, go to Angelbird's website and update your cards. Because I know some people actually have a problem with those cards writing CF Express Type B. Go and update the firmware. Apparently you can update firmware on cards. Do that, then plug that back in and try that again. But those are the two that I'm going to work on here. And if we have time, we could test to see if I drop any frames. Because I actually haven't been on a shoot since I bought my own. But we can do that. Pre-workout funds. Hey, let's go. I actually am running out of pre-workout, so that actually helps. You are looking at Tyler's video. And I forgot Tyler's last name. What is Tyler's last name? Hang on a second. Which is weird because I'm like, I always. Tyler Edwards. I don't know why I forgot Tyler's last name. I usually remember that. But yeah, Tyler Edwards has a really dope video on the 17K. And I'm trying to hold back like my I guess first part of my review on the 12K until like it gets there. And yeah, the depth of field is like almost not real. I would love to see that in a landscape situation. Oh, of two lands. He's another homie as well. He did a great video on the 17K. Pergear has a great deal on CF Express Type B 4.0 cards with a discount. It's around $185 US for 1 terabyte. That is still $400 Canadian, almost. No, it's not. It's like $350. Yeah, no, it's $400. It's easily $400. We're very, very close to it. I currently have 3 1 terabyte CF Express cards, but I'm thinking about getting a 2 terabyte instead. Jason, if you're going to use it on the Ursa, that'll be great. If you're going to use it on a camera that's smaller, I know some people like there's a limit of like your CF Express Type B card size that you can use per camera. Some people don't like using the 4 terabytes on smaller cameras, but 2 I think is fine. I think if you keep 2 of them, you're good to go. If there's a report that Thunderbolt 5 will help transfer speeds, but the read-write speed of the drive matters more than that's slow down. Need SSDs for NAS storage to be faster. Yeah. If you have a Ugreen drive, though, I think you like when you back up to your NAS, you could just send a link to your client, and then they could just do it instead of having to do it twice. What do you think about the new 12K RGBW sensor? Better in lower light? Probably not. And they've already displayed that too. Blackmagic's not good at doing things in low light, but most of the time, like, I'm probably not going to take this camera, try to shoot a 3200 in pitch darkness. Like I wouldn't run it like I would a Sony mirrorless camera kind of thing. And those are the gives and takes that you get, right? Like you can get unreal image, amazing skin tones, amazing dynamic range, amazing everything else. Probably not a good idea to go running around at nighttime with it. And which it still leaves place for other cameras like the Lumix S12, the S1R2, the FX3, even the A7 IV kind of sensors. I did 2 terabytes because it was worth it. The 8 terabyte module will be another purchase. Just wish there was a single. Yeah, Tim, I agree with you. I wish there was a single dock for it, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Like the stream, family and friends. How many people are here? 44? That's enough people. You probably should like the stream. I learned that if you ship by price, you usually wind up paying twice. Yeah, man. I'm trying to do this new thing where if I want a thing, I'm just going to get the thing that I won't have to buy again later on. And I'm trying to do that with cameras. Yeah, I got an email saying it's been delayed till late August. It doesn't surprise me at all. Blackmagic's pretty notorious for that. But that means I get to do a bunch of Ursa 12K content, and you guys get to see how the sensor performs because sensors are the same. Do you do an anime watch-a-thon with a side of jollof? That's gonna be so. I did mention this before. Channel memberships are a thing. Um, I would love feedback on them before anyone buys them yet because I just made them up. One tier is going to be a support tier. Obviously, like it's like $5, something like that. And I think I'm going to put the Discord like at the lowest of the tiers too. Second one, you're going to have exclusive content. So like I'll make videos that probably don't do well algorithmically for YouTube that are going to end up being those with live streams and polls and stuff like that. And just essentially almost like a one to many paid community kind of thing. And then the OG tier is going to be where whenever I do a lens review or a camera review, I'll put a Dropbox of like 15 shots each one, and then you get that raw footage to play around with. I'm still going to watermark them because some of you guys can't be trusted with good things, and you'll go around putting that in your DP reels, which is really not a cool thing to do. But anyways, you'll be able to play around with some of the raw footage from some of the reviews, especially a lot of the lens stuff that's going to happen on the Ursa 12K. I don't give out raw footage for free. And I know a lot of people ask about that, but if I don't do it with my clients, then I'm not doing it on YouTube. So that's kind of what that tier is going to be with everything else. Obviously, the Discord, the exclusive videos and stuff like that. So, Mr. T, can you walk us through the rig setup? Yes, I can. I'm going to get to the bottom of this chat. And then I'll be able to do it. Angelbird 4.0 cards, yeah, and love them. Okay, that's good to hear because I contacted Angelbird about the cards and I know they have them, but I've been very hesitant on getting 4.0 cards up till now. 9 rental houses in your area. Damn, what are your top 3? I go to Viva quite a bit, and if you've ever seen like those camera robot arms, I am gonna try to put the Ursa on that and test that out because I want to learn how to robot arm operate. I've been to 2D house. OC cameras is pretty solid if you're in a pinch. I've been to Keslo before when I need to get batteries for the Ursa. Viva, obviously I mentioned before. Vistec, Canada's downtown. And then there's a spot called Habibi Rentals, which is hilarious. Because I actually don't know if they're Lebanese or Arabic at all. Then you also have Ibuki Rentals, and then there's B Camera, what they're called. I think they're just called B Camera. I think it's called Budget Camera Rentals. And there's like one other one. But yeah, I'd say my top 3 are going to be 2D, Viva, Vistec when I'm in a pinch because they have mirrorless stuff. When a camera has full sensor readout, but records in 8K or 4K, does it still have the readout of the 12K pixels downsampled to 8K 4K, or it skips reading some of the pixels? Take a look at Team 2 Film's video on it because it doesn't line skip to get the sampling down. It is so, and the readout is actually faster, I believe. And faster, I mean like it's like 8 seconds or like 6 or something like that. It's something ridiculous. So no, it does not do line skipping to when you downres it. If it's still read to 12K pixels, the 4K should take some time. Others shouldn't. Technically, no. Go look at Team 2 Film's video. He does a way better way of explaining it to me than I will. Because it's not the same as a Bayer sensor, so you're not line skipping, at least from what I understand. It's very hard to explain because the way that the pixels are set up. So, I heard something about pre-workout while another tab was opening. What are you running these? I have PPK by Blue Star, which I'm out of, and I should probably buy more of it. And I also have a shoot with them coming up, so I'm probably gonna do that. But I don't have a split right now. I have a do stuff because you're not home all the time. And when you get a 3-month runway of actually being home, that's when you could run an actual program. But for now, it's just don't fall apart. That's being 33. Don't fall apart. That's the workout. The program right now is don't fall apart. Sorry, shop. Oh no, I got you, Nick. But you're right. Just if you see something that's more expensive and you're like, should I save the extra amount of money? Usually the answer is yes, because then you'll end up buying the half measure and then selling it and going through all that hassle. Hey, chicken tikka. Why don't you share that? Accessory for the Pixis 12K, cage 100, top handle, RE handle on AliExpress for 29, and batteries 300. Core snap-on adapter. I'm able to use brake for the filters. I feel like there's more too with the adapter. I have shot the 12K on an LED volume and it worked great. Another good use of 12K shooting. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, VFX will do that. Accessory pixels maybe 750. Well, that's not bad. Like relatively, it's not bad. Especially when you're talking about like 12K, and it's like a less percentage of the body. I work with the LED wall volume wall, good studio deal. Ursa 12K is a no-brainer for using on the volume. I've never shot on volumes. Sunflower for the rest of the day. Excited to see what you do with 12K. I'm going to be really annoying with the Ursa 12K. I'm going to be so real with you guys. Like, you guys might enjoy this. I'm going to be a very annoying person with that camera. Do you think the Blackmagic View Assist on the S1 II will be a good alternative to B-Cam to the Pixis 6K 12K? Yes and no. It does not look the same as native Blackmagic RAW, but it's an improvement from not having RAW at all, if that makes any sense. It'll give you like as much as like using ProRes RAW on a Sony camera will, but just being able to be readable on a program that's not Final Cut. But no, it's not going to be the same thing. It'll be close though, but it's not gonna be the same thing. Hey, you know what? And you gotta you maybe put up your rig build videos because mine was pretty generic. But let's go through the Ursa 12K because I've been on here for an hour and I have not talked about this yet. But we're gonna get into here. We got this thing working. So this is what we're gonna do here. This is what we're gonna do. It's gonna be really okay. We got this guy on. Got this bad boy on. We're gonna get this turned on here. I wonder if I could just maybe I'll just pull this off. You guys don't need to see my face. Who cares? This cable's extra long. Okay. I'm just gonna turn the autofocus off here if I can. Actually, I might have to do it this way. All right. Let's put this manual focus. Okay, so the Ursa Cine 12K, we got it working. We got it on. I'm just going to move that down. I'm going to try to change my exposure a little bit. Yeah, so this is pretty much what we're looking at here. And that's going to be that guy. So for here, and something I haven't figured out myself is finding out the native ISO. I know Cine D did do their analysis on 800 ISO. I prefer to use 400, and that's where I'm going to kind of keep it and park it over here. But it's very, very, very reminiscent of the Pixis. So if you're on any Pixis or any other Blackmagic camera, like that's what you're going to kind of look like, or that's what you're going to be looking at. Sorry, I'm trying to just move my hand around this guy. Here's all of your shooting modes. Native ISO is 800. It is, but I like using 4. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, I didn't know that. So it didn't, apparently Blackmagic doesn't tell you what the native ISO is from what I heard. But yeah, so here's everything on here. This is pretty much where I'm going to live at. Like 5:1 or 8:1, I don't think is a gigantic deal. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how much these 1 terabyte cards have. So I don't know, there's a little bit of footage on here. So you're going to be about, hang on a second. Let me see if you guys can see this. Whoopsie. So on 8K, 8:1 compression, open gate, maybe you're shooting anamorphic. You're about an hour and 23 minutes on here, which is not a lot, to be fair, if you're shooting long form anything. But I have 2 of these on here. That one just has a couple of clips on it that I had a little bit earlier. But that's what you're going to look like from a memory card perspective. I would probably recommend having two terabyte cards instead of 2 1 terabyte cards, just in case. And you'll have like 2.5 hours on each one, give or take. 400 is cleaner, but dynamic range allocation is best at 800 for highlights and shadows, according to Blackmagic. You're correct. I don't like after using 400 on my Pixis, I've become obsessed with it, and I've not needed so much of the high end all the time. But also, if you want the most dynamic range, 1000%, I agree. So under here, and if you want to go to Super 35, and I wonder if I can just like hang on a second, you'll be able to see this. If I maybe I can't do it. It doesn't go all the way around. But your Super 35 mode is going to be down here. And if you notice, your compression mode kind of changes based on the resolution you're going to use. And I think that's because like you could, if I'm going to like 8K, yeah, I could compress a little bit more than if I go to like 4K. Your lowest is going to be 6:1 instead of 5:1, or it's going to be 6:1 instead of like 8:1 or something like that. So this is where I'm going to live. This is probably where I'm going to live, 8:1, 8K. But if I want to run Super 35, I can do it this way, and I'll show you. That's going to punch in a little bit more. We'll show you that. Just kind of keep that in your mind. Keep that in your noodle. And then once I go back out to 8K, we're a lot wider now. And that's me shooting on, right now I'm on a 18 millimeter. Do you have external storage like NAS for backup or online cloud? Yeah, I actually have both. So I did a video on the Ugreen DXP 4800 Plus. That's a new NAS system that I just got. And Ugreen did send me a couple of drives. They sent 16. Sorry, my nose is really messed up. They sent 16 terabytes, which is going to fill really quickly. So I'm going to put new drives into that. And then I also have a Synology DS418 Plus, and that's going to get pretty full. I only have 11 terabytes left on it. So I'm going to have to get new drives for both of them. But I have two. The cool thing about the Ugreen is, hang on a second. I'm going to put that on here because it feels weird that I'm talking. The cool thing about the Ugreen drive is you could send share links directly from that drive on your phone. So if you have a client project, you need to send something to them, like you could just do it right from the Ugreen drive. And I could do it like when I'm traveling, which is nice. Any idea why they decided to do that? It seems like they are abandoning consumer prosumer NAS market, which has been distinctive niche. Any other NAS brand you'd recommend? Wait, hang on a second. Am I missing something? I might be missing something. NAS. Which NAS do you use? Synology decided that starting from 2025 models, it will not support hard drives that are not proprietary. Ew, what the I read that second part first, the first part second. That sucks. That's god awful. Well, I don't feel bad about getting a Ugreen drive then, but I do have both. So when it happens, then it'll be annoying. I turn back on. How does the memory card storage change between different resolutions? I can actually run through that right now. There's 4 compression ratios for each one. So we're not going to do all 16 of them because there's 16 of them. But I can do that right now and I can show you how each one is. Keep in mind, there's a couple of clips on one of the cards already. So we're just going to pay attention to the B card. Actually, yeah, no, let's do it on here. Just so you guys know too, you can use the Blackmagic website to figure out how much what your data rates are going to be depending on the resolution and your compression. Just going to make sure I get that all set up, and then we get this dark enough so you guys can see what I'm doing. So right now, hopefully you guys can see that. That is 1 minute. I'm sorry, 1 minute, 1 hour and 23 minutes on 8K 8:1 compression ratio. That's probably where my wheelhouse is going to be. If I want to go to say like 1/16 or 16:1, you're going to get about 2 hours and 3 minutes at 8K. If we're going to go to 5:1, you're going to get about 52 minutes. So it's a little bit less than an hour. And if we're going to go all the way up to 3:1, and I use constant bit rate just so I have pretty consistent times, you get like a half hour. And these are on 1 terabyte cards. I have 1 terabyte Angelbird cards. So if you guys are wondering which cards I'm using, that's what I'm doing. And that's all at OpenGate. Now, I think the only other ratio that I would probably use a 17:9. And then it changes a little bit. So you will from like an hour and 23 to an hour and 43. And then 5:1 is an hour and 5. 3:1 is about 40 minutes. And then 12:1 is 2.5 hours. So that's what you're going to be looking at when you're shooting in 8K. I will typically just shoot in 8K open gate. 4K though, And you're going to notice your ratios change a little bit down here. So we're going to go all the way to the lowest. So 4K, I don't know, like 4K, can I go like 16 by 9 here? Let's go like 4K 16 by 9. You're going to get about 4.5 hours at the lowest compression at shooting 4K. So if you're shooting like long form podcasts or events, that's probably going to be your data saver there. And you have 2 cards there, which makes things easier. If I want to go into OpenGate at that high compression, you have 4 hours, which is a lot. And keep in mind, this is still downsampling from 12K, so it's going to still be really, really sharp. And then if I want to go to 5:1, which is kind of like the second lowest one, you're still at 3 hours and 21 minutes, which is wild at 8K. 4:1, still shooting at OpenGate, you're 2 hours and 43 minutes. And then if you want to shoot at the highest compression 4K downsample from 12, you're at 2 hours, which 2 hours per card, I think you're going to be doing pretty good. And then we can go to 12K. We can go through that. I'm going to start at like the highest. What's the absolute highest resolution? And it's got to start up for a second. If I shoot at 12K, lowest compression, 3:1, I will get 23 minutes and 29 seconds on a 1 terabyte card. But on the flip side, if I want to go to like 18:1, you're about 1 hour and 23 minutes. And if I go to 8:1, which is probably where I would probably live, you're shy of 40 minutes, man. So you're not, maybe you want to find other solutions if you're going to shoot in 12K, maybe the module. And then I don't know if anyone wants a C9K, if you want to go down to Super 35, just for fun. 8:1 sounds about right. You're about an hour. So in most normal people shooting modes, you're looking at about an hour per terabyte. Let me go through some of the comments here. I mainly use DAS over NAS because I don't need to be attached to a network, but 8-bay OWC Thunder Bay drive as good as 8-bay NAS, just not connected to a network. That's fair. I'm in the office with mine, so like they're right beside me, so I could go either way. I remember 20,000 foot of a film is 11 millimeter seconds. To buy it, it's $1,582 for development and telecine costs are still quite. Ursa Cine 12K, a steal a deal on recording time for cost ratio. Absolutely, I'm not shooting on film. That's wild. You're feral if you think I'm ever going to shoot on film for any long form anything, especially 12K. Not to say that, but people do it. It looks great. Our other needs 2 heavy balls of fufu, and I can't pronounce that to save my life, and I'm not going to, which sucks because I should know how to do that. To carry this monstrosity of a camera that I love from Ghana. Oh, another Kofi as well. That's the same. I don't know how to spell that, and you have to say it. My parents moved here when they were like teenagers, so they didn't help me spell things in she. So I don't know what that is. Okay, so we got through the memory card stuff. Battery life is kind of a tougher one because it doesn't give me a timer when I have it running on the shark fin. But I guess we'll just go over what the rig looks like. Let me just throw this back up here. You know what they do need? They need a alphabet on your keyboards. I did a video for Artlist just a little while ago, and they're like, we have so many new languages that you can use for Artlist AI voiceovers. And I'm like, cool. Not one language is in Africa. And maybe it's actually better that way to not have AI know that language. So, okay, so what we're going to do here, I forgot what I was going to do here. I'm going to put this back to where I normally has it, 8:1, 8K. We're going to go over the rig. Ground nut soup. Okay, I can do ground nut soup. Actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I was a goat meat type of guy. My parents got really mad because I didn't like ground nut soup when I was a kid, and it really pissed them off. I'm like, Mommy, I want goat meats. And my mom would be like, no, you have to have peanut butter soup. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't. Peanut butter is sacred to me. But as I get older, ground nut soup is actually really good. It's really good. 275 watt is giving me 3.5 hours per battery on the Helix. Oh, shoot. I might have to look at the two. I don't know if I'll ever need 3.5 hours, like a 7 hour. Actually, no, that's not a bad deal. Hey, respects, bro. I'm not. I have a long way to go. I don't know everything about filmmaking. I do not. I know a lot about camera gear. I know a lot about how that stuff works. I know a lot about practical application. But I still got a long way to go. It just so happens that I'm gonna drag you guys all to watch me do it. Okay. I'll turn that guy off for now. I could actually stream to the Ursa in a second. But okay. So this is what we're dealing with right now. I'm trying to see if I could like turn this camera so you guys can see what's going on. So right now we have the Nisi Aureus 18 millimeter. I have my 35 over here, and I also have the Blazar Remus lenses, and those are going to be pretty much the main guys for the next little bit. This is a pretty minimal setup because I don't have a cage just yet. I tried to get one of these guys yesterday, and this was going to be a 50 millimeter rod to a NATO rail because I have a microphone here. The Sennheiser, this is the MKE 600, and I have this Condor Blue shock mount, and this is NATO rail. Let's see if I can put that on here. This guy's NATO rail, but when you put this on here, the NATO rail goes horizontally. So I just ordered one from Nicey Rig, so then that way I could put on one of the rods and I could have it go forward, and that way it'll be easier to get a microphone onto here easily. I also still have top handle, which is from the Pixis, and that's holding the Pixis monitor. And then I got the V-mount plate from Core SWS. Don't worry, we're good. But this is going to be the shark fin for it, and there's two different batteries on it here. One is going to be the Helix 9, and the other one is going to be the Helix 150. This will give me a pretty decent amount of time. Like, I think I'll probably get like 4-ish hours out of here, which I think for the beginning shoots that I'm going to be doing, I think that's enough battery life, and I have other batteries as well. If you are going to get the Ursa Cine 12K, you do need to get those 28 volt batteries, or you're not going to get all the frame rates. Now, even when you have the batteries for the frame rates, you're still going to need the proper cards for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop out well, you already saw the cards, but I have two 1 terabyte 1785 megabytes per second cards, which will get you a pretty decent amount, but it will drop frames as you get a little bit higher up into the frame rates. So one thing I would like you guys to do, if you do check it out, Blackmagic has a link where you can check all the data rates, and then you want to check the sustained data rate on your cards themselves, so that way you don't mess it up. But that's pretty much the rig for now. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole setup for now. I'm going to start building stuff out as I go. I still am looking to find some wireless transmission solutions as well, which I don't have any shoots that I need it just yet. But as I start to build it up slowly, then I'll kind of do an update video or whole rig build video later on. I haven't seen this camera in Ghana yet to rent and to try out, but when it does, I promise to be the one to own it. Run a Steadicam setup would be awesome. Wait, actually, question for you. Because I head up to Ghana in the wintertime. Is there... Do you have a Steadicam out there? I never got to see what the production scene is like out in Ghana. I was in December, and you know exactly what happens in December, and it's not work. But yeah, I'm very curious at the Ghanaian film industry because I would like to shoot some stuff there, but I'm not very connected. Yeah, 275 watt is heavy. It's 4 pounds per battery. So if the weight concern, then yeah, 150 watt is fine. There is a very cheap easy rig. It's the Flycam Flowline 750N, and it's cheap, but it's cheap because the payload starts off at like almost 30 pounds. And I would think I would need both of those batteries, like both those 275s, to put on my rig to get the minimum weight to be able to get it to work. Wait, I rigged got it to 23 to 20. Yeah, that's wild. You also need a gigantic Steadicam to do that. But okay, we could actually check out some of the LUTs on here. If you guys are ready to go, I am going to plug in. I'm going to plug in the Ursa Cine into the stream, and I guess the only test footage we could look at is going to be the corner of my office. Also, Tim. Oh, that sucks. Okay, so I made a discovery. If you try to get an SDI cable in with the shark fin, you're gonna have to run it. You're gonna have to run an L-shaped cable. That's something noted, and I have to. I'll make that adjustment later on. I'll just do this and take that off. Okay, well that's something new. Yeah, so get an L-shaped SDI cable if you're going to be running shark fins to it, so that way it doesn't obstruct it. Actually, yeah, it's not connected to anything, so there's no surge that can happen. Huh. I didn't know that. I definitely have to go there for more business things outside of real estate and getting drunk. Okay. Alorio, have I used the camera Cine saddle? Well, have I got one of these? So yeah, I do have one. Again, I haven't been on a shoot with the camera I bought yet. So time will tell whether or not that'll be a viable option instead of using an easy rig when I don't need to or don't have the option to. But yeah, I do have one. Neville, I have Steadicam Zephyr, and I'm on the weight limit, so yeah, not good. It's not good enough. Okay. Yeah, I would like to see some Steadicam stuff as well. I tried to ask Tiffin if they could kind of point me in the right direction to start learning Steadicam, and I never got anything back, and it made me sad. So maybe one day. Okay, if we are ready, we are going to yank. One moment, please. Oh, there we go. No module. What do you mean, no module? Oh. There we go. All right, so we have the Ursa Cine 12K. This is everything that's on here. I wonder if you can see the menus on here, but I don't think so. No. Actually, I wonder if you can. Sorry, I just ate the microphone. So, this is how we're looking. This is where we're at. We're over here. And I want to go through also some of the LUTs that are on here. Okay. All right. Thomas mentioned that there is going to be a little bit of IR pollution. I'm not in direct sunlight, but I can still turn on all of the NDs that are on here. I wonder if I could actually get that to pull up and see. So if I'm on 400 ISO, 800, let me go to 16, 32. It is pretty noisy at 32. I wouldn't recommend running around pitch darkness with this guy, although you can use noise reduction in order to do that. Trying to see if I can get, none of the blacks look like purple, but it's also, there's no direct sunlight, no UV pollution actually coming in, so it's kind of a tough thing to see. But I'm going to run through some of the LUTs on here. Let me just put like one little thing of one little guy of that on there. Question: which gimbal can at least manage to balance Ursa Cine 12K from June and DJI? I wouldn't try either. To be completely honest with you, I wouldn't venture to try that out. I'm not going to, at least, because I don't think it's going to work. Because then you have to plug it into something. You'd have to plug in the camera into something else, which might suck. So right now I'm using the right now I'm using some of the Phantom LUTs that are on here. I think I have like I actually don't know which version I have of these. These are really, really old. But right now this is Bleach. If I change that, this is going to be the Eternal LUT, which I don't know if you can really see that very well. Let me just try that again. Let me know if you guys could see the color difference in these guys. When you do it on webcam, it doesn't look as good. That's going to be the Eterna for the Pocket 6K. You can always just rock onto that on the Rec 709. Actually, no, this is Rec 709. That's going to be a standard. Vision Teal. And then Vision again. You could load, I believe you can load 15 LUTs on it here. I got to still make my own on it here, but for now, that's just going to kind of hold things down. But this is how we look. My office is a gigantic mess. Also, there's so little people in here because nobody cares about this Ursa Cine 12K business. But here we are on here. Here's all of the menu options that are on there. It doesn't actually show you guys like as I'm going through these, which kind of sucks. That's a good looking webcam. This is an overkill webcam. And this is the Nisi Aureus. As we talked about these last time, we did this on stream, but I'm like not even a foot away. Maybe exactly a foot, but like it has a really like, it looks like nice and soft. It doesn't look too crunchy. The sensor doesn't look super crunchy. The lens also may have something to do with that as well, but like this is pretty solid. And right now, like it's only streaming in 1080p, so there's not a lot of detail and things to see. Don't show us NDA items, Kofi. That's not an NDA item. That is a story that I can only tell those who know off stream, which isn't NDA to be fair, but there's a particular predicament with that guy, and we'll talk about it later, and hopefully it changes. But like this looks pretty decent. Like I could be able to. I wonder. Hang on a second. I wonder if I can pull this off. Can I do this? This is gonna suck. This is vlogging on the Ursa Cine 12K, which is stupid. This is stupid. This is a dumb idea for so many reasons, but imagine somebody walking around like this. Technically, I could flip the screen out. Oh, God. That's way too sharp, and I see pieces of my face that I never needed to. But yeah, so you can do this if you really want to, and you have really strong arms. Hang on a second. I'm trying to answer this with my left. Hey, man, have a good one. We're just fooling around. I don't know what the heck I'm doing on here. How long do you think you could hold it towards you like that? Not more than a minute. Like this is not ideal. Do not try this at home. But yeah, that's kind of, this is awful. What am I doing? Okay, don't drop it. But we got to run through a bunch of some of the menus, some of the other stuff. I think most of this was to ask any questions that we couldn't get answered last time because the stream got cut short because I couldn't get the camera on. So this is going to be mostly a gigantic Q&A thing. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them. I think I'm never going to do that again. There you go. Okay, I'm going to plug back into my Panasonic camera, and we're gonna have this open up for questions. Let me just take out the SDI first here. Just unplug that. There we go. We're back. But yeah, we got to fool around with some of the settings on it here. And I think if there's any other questions, I think ask away. I think I'm trying to answer as much as I can before I start shooting a bunch with this guy. Like, tell the regret in your face. Yeah, 0 out of 10. Don't recommend using the Ursa Cine 12K as a vlog camera. Having 2017 YouTube PTSD. Yeah, this is what happens. I'm like, do the Peter McKinnon thing, just kind of hold a 1DX out as a vlog camera all day. But this one has a front screen, so I mean, you can do it. But yeah, that is. Oh, I didn't get to show you guys what happens when you run this on a timeline. Really question, does the Ursa Cine 12K have enough ND? I know people have had an issue with external NDs on the FX6. I think it could have used an extra couple stops, to be fair. I think it's 2, 4, and 6. That's why I'm going to carry a matte box with some other with more NDs on them. But yeah, it definitely could have used. It definitely could use some extra. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I recorded a couple clips the other day, and I could actually plug these guys in. I want to plug these guys in, and we're going to go through a little bit of footage before I leave, because I only recorded like 2 clips on this guy so far. And it's 7 o'clock, so I should go back to doing some sort of work at some point. Okay. Gonna go to memory card. See if I can do this. Just drop it in. All right. Going to that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to screen share and show off a little bit of footage, which is not that much, to be honest with you. Oh, there we go. Hey, did this work? Can you guys see this? Let me know if you guys can see this. If that's visible, then we can kind of go through. Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay. So right now this shot is in, let me go to my inspector. So this is an AK shot that I got yesterday. And this is kind of part of that little like every day I'm going to get a shot kind of thing. So I'm going to just kind of play this back normally. Hang on a second. I'm just going to get rid of some of the extra fluff footage that's in here. If I'm pulling this back fully at just full playback, it's scrubbing through pretty easily. Like I'm just leaving it as it is. I haven't put any sort of like changing or anything on that. So that's kind of what that looks like, which is super nice. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a little bit of a grade onto here. Just make a bunch of nodes. I'll do something super like quick and dirty. I'll just put the codec on there. If you guys are looking at a color grading tutorial, this is probably not the best one because I'm going to go super quick when I do this. I'll give it 5. Film Gen 5. Rec 709. Cine on film log. Okay. Hang on 1 second, because I'm like, it's like double playing the screen, and I'm just going to move this a little bit. Okay, guys, can still hear me. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to play around with a little bit of this just to get the exposure right. Bring the exposure a little bit up. And what's cool about this is if I, like, you could see that there's a little bit of, like, highlight information here. I could press highlight recovery. Take a look at that. It does it a little bit, and I'm going to reset it so you can see it a little bit more prominently. If you look over here, like, you could still bring back highlights with that highlight recovery, and it softens out those highlights a little bit. In a perfect world, I'd spend 15 minutes trying to like get everything dialed in, but realistically, I just want to show whether or not I could play back footage pretty easily. And nobody make fun of my shoe and sock combination because I will fight you. That's what and that I could pull all that back. Ooh, yeah, I could pull all that back. Almost no problem. I recover those highlights if I ever needed to. Honestly, it wouldn't, in like a scene, it probably wouldn't change anything. Can take the temperature up a little bit. Saturation up just like a touch. It's like a quarter point is fine. I'm going to try to expand some of those darks. Yeah, so it's going to be right about here. Oh, it's too much. And then I'm just going to add a couple of visual effects like film grain. I'm going to go like the 35 millimeter. And literally, I'm just doing this to see if I put a bunch of effects on a grade, can I play back 8K on DaVinci Resolve? Let's go, what was it? Soft light. Anytime I put an effect, does the screen flicker for you as well? Because I think it's doing it for me. There we go. Okay. So right now, very quickly graded footage. This clip is pretty, like this whole clip was like 10 minutes long. But playing back 8K just fine. This is on my M1 Max MacBook. This is playing at 8K, 8:1 compression. If I want to try it out and put like another timeline over top of it, if I maybe want to play 2 clips over top, it chugs a little bit onto here. Like it's going to get a little bit slower onto here. Probably not my favorite. Maybe if I put up another one, you can tell like it's really trying to force itself out. Again, we're shooting 8K raw, and I'm not even putting on a hard drive. This is like right off the card. So this is as bad as I think I'm going to get it. I normally don't do more than 3 of audio, but if I go back down to a quarter, I go back down to a quarter, shoot, like this is going to be like what, 2K or something like that in playback. And this is going to be just fine. And I go to full. Yeah, and it'll chug a little bit. But once I take that down, we're down here again. And then if I do the same thing on here, I'm just going to have to just do this. I'm going to copy and paste this over. But what I'm going to do is that is not going to look as nearly as bad as it should. I'm going to take off this HDR. I think the 5090 looks better. Yeah, I can agree with you. I'm just using the built-in ones that are on Resolve. Just a quick and dirty. Yeah, Conrad, I'm using my M1 Max MacBook. I gotta fix this guy up a little bit. Again, I'm going so fast. I would not normally go this fast, but I want to just be able to see where we're living and how we're looking. And even that highlight recovery, like take a look at the sun. If I press on highlight recovery, it does take that down a little bit. In retrospect, probably, I mean, it's kind of tough to do, but trying to expose for the sun, it makes everything else a lot darker. And then having to bring everything back up might increase your chances of noise, but I'm shooting at ISO 400. In a perfect world, we might be able to do that a little bit better, but see if I turn my highlights off. That actually normally doesn't do anything, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Shadow roll off doesn't do anything either. But this is like, we're shooting at like 12K here, which is unreasonable. Let me just put this on here. And I wonder if there's anything, there's nothing moving in the frame, so it's going to be kind of hard to tell. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's water moving. So, yeah, 12K right off the card on an M1 Pro, sorry, an M1 Max MacBook. You could play a single track of 12K. Now, I'm going to try this. This is going to sound really dumb, and it's going to be really dumb. I'm going to pause that and move that up a bit. Oh, okay, yeah, still playing back pretty okay. No, it's not. It's at like 6, 7 frames a second. Once I take that down, we're at like 11, 12, 13, 14, 17 frames a second, 18. So I would recommend maybe going back to your playback, going like to half, and then you're at a full 24 frames a second. Everything looks great. So if you're shooting in 12K on an M1 Max MacBook on a single track, playing back 12K, or sorry, 8K in this situation, playing back 8K at half is, I'm assuming 4K. This is pretty good. And you'll still be able to edit this guy. You'll still be able to do what you want on this. You'll still have more than enough resolution that's going to be on here. That looks still really decent. And then I think yesterday I shot this shot at 12K. However, there's information on it there that I can't show you. So I'm not going to show you that shot for now. So I'll shoot something else in 12K later on during the week. But that's what we're looking like, man. It's about an hour 47. I'm gonna wrap this up now, but if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. But yeah, I wanted to open this guy up, kind of go through a little bit of it. Um, I gotta be patient and I gotta wait for these shoots to come up, and so I can get them done because I'm itching to shoot right now. But I only got back from Utah like 2 days ago, and there's a lot of things that I haven't planned out yet. So, and if there are no questions, that means I'm free to go. I can go home. All right, doesn't look like there's any. Okay, I am going to wrap this up. I think the next time you're going to see me talking about this camera whatsoever is when we start actually shooting. So that was kind of just a rundown on the Ursa Cine 12K, just kind of going through the rig, kind of going through a little bit of the menus and stuff like that. But in future videos, it'll be a lot more in depth. There'll be a lot more shoots going forward. But I'm going to go do my cardio because, yeah, we're putting an end to the big back season. Thank you everyone that showed up too. All the super chats from Mac, Sam, Mario, everyone that showed up to the stream to kind of chime in and hang out for a bit. I'm going to go home, or not go home. I'm going to go on the treadmill. So I'll see you guys later.